Hey, what's up, North County? I'm your host, Randy Doty, and today we are talking California Mid-State Fair Industrial Arts Project Auction here. We've got Blake and Landon in here to fill us in about what's going to be happening this year at the California Mid-State Fair. Gentlemen, thanks for coming in.
Thanks, Randy.
Thank you for having
Appreciate
us.
it.
Yeah. So Blake, first off, I'm gonna start with you. You have been putting this on since the '90s. Is that correct?
I've been involved with it since 1994. We were asked as a small family-owned welding supply company out of San Luis Obispo, we were asked to step in and take over a program that kind of had really not gone very far, and we had just opened a branch in Paso Robles, and they asked us if we'd be interested in promoting this, and we got involved with the fair. Judy Rose and Debbie Twisselman at that time were running the program, and Judy moved on, Debbie took over, and Debbie and I have been partnering up on this. Debbie is the supervisory administrator for the program, and I'm lucky enough to have Ron Alves with PRW Steel and Justin Pickard, an instructor at Cuesta, to be part of the program. And then we also have Robert Dazal with Airgas, and we have moved this program forward through ups and downs, and it continues to grow, and we're very, very proud of where it stands today, with last year bringing in over $200,000, and by the time add-ons were done, we were about 239.
Wow.
So we had about 65 projects that went across the auction block, and each one of them is unique and special, and we're just excited about this year and our numbers and where we're going to go. So I've been very, very fortunate to be associated with this.
Awesome. And Landon, you are the welding teacher at Templeton High School, correct?
Yes, yeah.
And so you went through this program yourself as well.
Yeah, I did. I was Paso High, class of 2011, so I actually, all 4 years of high school, went through this program, was able to build stuff for the fair, and it was a little bit smaller as far as scale goes back in the day, but loved it so much, it brought me back, and I'm very excited now, the opportunity to kind of coach students through doing those projects. I had so much fun with it when I was in high school, and now I just love watching what these students can create and getting to be a part of it down at the Mid-State Fair.
Was this your aspiration in school to be a welding teacher?
It wasn't. I actually just thought I wanted to be a welder, and I went and did that for a few years, and I enjoyed it, but once I saw the kind of demand for the welding industry out there, I thought I could do my part. So I went back to college, got my teaching credential at Poly, and decided to be a welding teacher so I can kind of help promote the industry and push more students into the direction.
Well, it's such an interesting class and need in schools. I mean, we look at all this technology in the world. You got all these AI, and you got all this stuff that is taking jobs, but you can't replace a good hard worker that's going out there and welding up fence lines or broken down equipment or any of that kind of stuff, right?
Not at all. No, there's a lot of automation happening in the welding world, and some of that stuff will be in manufacturing side and in the shop and stuff. That stuff still needs welder operators to operate it. But as far as you're talking repair work and stuff out in the field, that's always going to require a guy with a truck to go out there and do the job.
And it's funny because we have, I mean, you have the oil fields right out here. I mean, you see welding trucks all over Paso, all over the North County. And, you look at these jobs, they're hard work, and you look at these kids that want instant gratification. They want that instant pocketbook to be swollen.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? This is one of those industries that you could have a pretty swollen, checkbook if you want to be.
Oh, absolutely. They got the opportunity to take the classes at the high schools around here. We're lucky to have them, and then California's got the Promise program where they can go to Cuesta for 2 years for free, get certed out through their program, and go straight to work and never be in debt from school and start making a lot of money real fast.
And Cuesta has a welding program as well.
Correct. Yeah.
They have one of the better ones.
Outstanding
very,
weld.
very good program.
Yeah.
It's again, it's been cultivated from our local instructors that have gone on from the high school level to moving on to Cuesta, and we're really, really fortunate to have a really strong program out at Cuesta. Just to circle back to the program that we're involved with, the reason why we have this is to highlight the need for career technical education and for vocational education. We don't ever want to see that get put on the budget axe block, whatever you want to call it, because once a program goes away, it doesn't come back.
Correct.
You know, they don't miraculously revive it. So what we want to do is we want to continue to show that, as Landon just said, there's a need for this. You see people like Micro and his Works program and some of the things that they're doing with the government programs now. Meta just came out with a America Works program. They're putting the students back to work. And like you mentioned, you don't have student debt when you go to work for a place right out of high school. But if you have gone through the programs and got certified, you're able to start at a decent salary, benefits hopefully, and some place to grow, where nothing against going through a 4 or 5 year college program,
Not at all.
but you're coming out with, you know, $100,000 worth of debt that you're paying for forever, and maybe a degree in a field that is something that you're competing with a lot of other people to get the same job. So the industry is seeing more and more people, the fabrication and welding industry is seeing more and more people step out of the ditch instead of stepping into the ditch. And as long as we can continue to expose these young student fabricators to all of the technology that's out there, so that they're ready once they leave the programs to work in shops that have the newer machines, like Landon was saying, automation, industrial technology that's out there right now is crazy. Yeah, it's a robot, but you still have to know how to work the robot. And so as long as we can keep that fire lit and those kids wanting to do this, and it starts, like I was saying earlier to you, Randy, we want to have that 6th grader see his brother get a prize from being in high school at the Industrial Arts Project and Auction and say, you know what, I'm going to do that when I get into high school. Because he sees his sibling build a project, earn some money on the auction block, and maybe get a really nice prize to walk away with. Because that's one of the things that we're really, really proud of, is our prize package that we come up with. We give away almost $50,000 worth of stuff. And we have welders, we have plasma cutters, we have automated helmets, we have chop saws, we have all kinds of stuff that the student fabricator that wins can directly take home and take into his garage and be able to use maybe for a project for next year, or seed money for a project for next year, or whatever it is that he wants to do to kind of move his avocation forward with what he wants to do with that particular drive that he has. And man, we've seen over the years some outstanding projects, and we're looking forward to more outstanding projects this year.
Well, I was able to walk through there last year before the auction and checking out some of these projects that these kids, you know, that you guys have to judge on. And I don't know how you do it, because are you one of the judges, Landon?
No, I'm not. No, I'm
What we do
too
is
much skin in the game for me. So yeah.
But I mean,
yeah.
some of these projects these don't look like students that put this together. This looks like somebody that has years and years and years of experience, that just the creativity of whatever that project is. You know, there was a fountain there last year that I didn't even know where the water was coming from and how it got out to because they got to have water source, right? And it's got to circulate. I still, to this day, Blake, I don't know where the water came through there, because it wasn't, there was no openings.
Well, that's the exciting part of what's going on right now, is that you know, there's a lot of social media contacts that these kids go into and look at with TikTok and Pinterest and all these things, and they take that idea and they twist it and they make it theirs. And it might be something very simple, or it might be something very complex. But what they're able to do is they're able to put their stamp on that project. And I tell people it's a one-off. There's not another one like that in the world, because what they've gotten, whether it's a trinket or it's a trailer, it's built by that student. Yeah, the parents might have a little bit of input on it. We want the instructors to have a lot of input on it. But most of the time, it's the students that build those things from the ground up. And they came up with so many out-of-the-box ideas that I try to get around and talk to the student fabricators the day of the show, just to pick their brains as to where they came up with these things. And it's really impressive. It gives me such hope that this generation that's out there right now at this level, they're going to go places. They're not fools, and they're excited about what they do. When you see that project come across the auction block, and you see the money start to climb for that student fabricator that they're going to get, that smile starts kind of small, and by the time they walk off that stage, man, they're on cloud nine.
Landon, how does this process start with the students? So this isn't just a last minute, putting this together and want to come to the auction. I mean, this
No.
is months in advance.
Yeah,
right?
no, we start having meetings back in like December, January time of year, and I require, every program's a little bit different. I require each student to come up with a whole project proposal before they start building anything, where they'll do a bill of materials, cut list, sketch. A lot of them do CAD renderings and stuff nowadays because they're having those classes at the school. So they turn that into me, and I'll kind of go through and, seeing these students work in the shop while we can kind of judge whether, hey, that's over your head, or I think you can do a little bit better. Let's
So you have a
change
little
this,
influence in that
yeah,
part of it.
yeah. So I just kind of coach them through, what things I would like to see change and where you should take this project. Once we get to that point, then it's ordering steel or lumber or whatever it may be, the raw materials. I'd say 90% of stuff is done at the shop for our program, comes and gets dropped off. All the local companies work great with us, delivering to us. And they start building. Usually we're trying to build January, February. We're in construction and fabrication in the shop. And we like to see stuff get well along the way by the end of the school year. A lot of times that's not the case. Students start getting senioritis or ready to go for summer breaks. So we'll see some stuff start to drag. But then most of the shop teachers locally I know are doing open shops 2 or 3 days a week over summer break.
So does this happen outside of their regular classroom, like curriculum, or?
Correct. Yeah. So what they'll do is the planning's on their own stage or on their own time. They have to still get the curriculum for the class done, which some of it overlaps. Like we have my senior class is a project fabrication class. So this can actually count towards their grade or their curriculum for the class because every student's got to do a project. But then a lot of them are just coming in. I do 2 open shops a week in the evenings. So they come in Monday and Wednesday nights, work from like 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. during the school year. And then, like I said, summer break, they'll come in. And it's really nice that way because you get just those 10 or 15 students that are working on projects. You can really focus on like helping each student and kind of coaching them through the construction of these projects.
So you got to really be up to speed on everything because I mean they live in a different world than you do as far as technology in their mind. I mean they're using chat and all those different AI protocols that you have to be up to speed on some of these ideas that they're coming to you with.
Yeah, and actually that's I was kind of fought AI as a teacher, especially I fought AI a lot early on, but the last 2 years or so it's blown me away what these AI technologies can do with like project planning. And like Blake was saying, it really has opened the door to like taking that simple barbecue or taking that simple bar and like adding stuff to it or changing stuff because it can think outside the box. It can pull from all these different resources and really help these students individualize a project and just make it their own and unique.
Right. It's funny to hear that because as a teacher, you're fighting outside influence and technology, but you're like, man, just throw in the towel and
it's the only time I'll promote it. Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Use it to help you guide the way. And just as you all know, AI is not always 100% accurate. I've seen it draw some renderings of projects where it has a motor on the wrong side of a project or something like that. And it's like, okay, well, don't take this thing, as solid fact. Use this for the idea and then, hone it in and make it your own. So
that's awesome. So Blake, this has been going on since 1994. So over the years, you guys have close to $1 million.
Over the year, since we started our first year, I think we had 12 projects. We had some hibachis and we had some boot cleaners, and I think we brought in about $2,000. And we thought, okay, where's this going to go? And the next year we doubled, and then exponentially we just kept getting bigger and bigger and bigger, and we started getting more projects entered. We started getting more of the word out to the community that this was occurring. And Randy, we're so fortunate in the North County to have a community that supports this in such a huge way. We have great sponsors. Airgas and PRW are our main sponsors for the program. We have donations from so many members of the community who come up and give us funds to go out and buy these wonderful prizes. And that helps us to really promote this program to the schools, that if you enter in, we have 3 classes, probably have more, I can't remember all of them, but we have wood and metal, that's called our combination, and then we have metal. And then we also have drafting that we've entered into the fray the last couple of years. And each one of those has been judged by members of the community. We have 3 judges for the fabricating end of it. We have a wood judge and we have a drafting judge. And they're members of the community that have done this forever, so they know what they're looking for as far as, you know, the completion, the safety, the overall design, making sure that it meets the criteria that we want to have and gives it a value. If you're second place or better, when the awards are presented, you're allowed to go on to auction. If you're first place, you're probably going to get a prize from us, and that prize can be, we have MIG welders, we have plasma cutters, we have chop saws, we have helmets, we have protective PPE wear, we have just such great stuff that we give away. So it just naturally adds to the excitement, the draw to get the community to come to bid on the projects, which allows the dollars to go up. And we see every year, we just think, okay, we'd be happy if we hit this dollar value, and it blows past that dollar value. It goes on and on. And
So you put something in your mind. You're like, this is going to probably go for X amount of dollars.
Yeah, our auctioneer, Rick Machado, great guy, comes every year and does this. Fantastic guy. He's got kind of a benchmark that he says, like any auction, and we go from there. And you know, sometimes it kind of doesn't go, I think, for what the student feels that it should go for, and other times it goes for 10 times what the student thinks it should go for. But the great thing is the diversity of the projects. I mean, you can have a trinket that's this big that the student fabricator put $10 worth of effort into, and he got $500 for it. You can have somebody that builds a really ornate barbecue that will go for thousands of dollars, things like that. And they're all things that everybody can use, whether it's in your residence, at your business, to give to somebody else. I mean, if you took a trip around my backyard, you'd see that my wife has raised her hands a lot more times than I would have cared for her to do. But it's pretty cool that we've got all these things at our house that I can say that's from that year, that's from that year, and they're all out there. And it's really, for me, I'm very proud of the program and proud of where we've come from. I'm proud to see instructors like Landon that give their time to make sure that this moves forward, you know, and kicks that kid up the ladder to say, you know what, this is just the starting spot. You're going to do a lot more things once you get outside of here. So we're really, really so fortunate all the way around.
Well, it's also cool that we live in this area that, you know, all these projects that these kids are building, you see them in a lot of these businesses.
Yeah.
You know, I know it was either last year or the year before, the table from school, from Templeton High School, is in Templeton Market. You know, that Abby purchased. And, you know, with these wineries and all these, you know, places of destination want that unique look. And these kids, these fabricators, you know, some of them, these wineries or these restaurants or these businesses are buying these projects because this unique fountain would look amazing as you walk into the tasting room.
That's one of my favorite things, going around Paso and seeing those projects at different locations or around the whole county. But
yeah,
it's awesome seeing the student work out there.
Again, it's that one-off.
Right.
There's not another one like it. My best success story, there's a young man from Shannon High School. He built a life-sized elk out of just junk parts off the ranch that he worked at. And when I first looked at it, the scope and scale of it, I didn't realize what was involved with it. And to think about how he went out and part of the antlers were made out of vice grips and the tail was made out of a chipping hammer and he used gears for eyes and everything else. The artistic eye that he had to put that together. It's in a I believe it's in a tasting room in Hawaii or someplace. I can't remember where it ended up with, but that family ended up doing other projects, and one of the simplest thing, his brother a couple years later took a file and he reversed the file on itself and he made a rattlesnake. And it was like one of the hits of the show because it was so simple, but it was so cool. And you see these people bidding on this, and it turned into a bidding war for this cool little one-off thing. And I went, you know what, that's really cool. I'd like to have one of those. And I talked to him after the fair and I said, can you make me one of those? And he said, yeah. So, we worked out a deal where he made one. And it's sitting in it's like framed at my home that everybody sees it when they come in. And it's such an attention getter and it's so unique. But that's what this program's about, is that each student fabricator has a choice of what they're going to make. Like what Landon said, you start in the fall and you start with an idea and it goes through a concept stage and then it goes to a design stage, then it goes to a fabrication stage, and then it goes to our stage where it's auctioned off. And it's judged. Those judges, they don't go easy on anything. And it's got to be a well put together project to number one, make the cut. We had, I believe this year we had 90 projects that were submitted, and we'll trim that down to 60 to 65.
For the fair or for the auction itself?
For the auction itself.
Okay.
And for the fair and the auction, actually. There are some third places that won't go to the auction, but we allow them to static display. But the second and first place will be there for sure. The first places all go to auction. Second places if they choose. So just to walk through and just to talk about where it is this year. Number one, it's the 16th. It's July 16th. We have a preview. We're going to partner up with JB Doer this year. They're going to do their awards for the tractor restoration program along with us. Then we'll have our awards and auction. It's at the Stockyard this year,
it did move.
It's a great move.
Okay.
We really last year weren't quite sure how it was going to come off because we've moved different places around the fairgrounds, and last year we just didn't know how it was going to work out. We're also incorporating the stage there at the Stockyards. Do you remember what that stage is called? I don't. It's by Jimmy's
Right by
Watering
Jimmy's, yeah.
Hole.
Okay.
Okay. So we get to have the kids come up on stage. We have a big screen that is showing their project while it's being auctioned off. They can walk over to the Stockyards. They can see the projects on static display. The JB Doer tractors are there at the same time. So it's really a great chance to get down to the fair, up close, talk to the kids beforehand before they go to auction.
And what day? That's the same day or the morning?
It's the same day.
Okay.
It's the morning of. They open the gates and you're able to go in, and the students are there at about 11 o'clock. They're there to answer questions or anything else. That's the preview. And then we have the actual awards and everything that go on before Cattleman's Day. It kind of tails into the Cattleman's Day barbecue. So it's a great day all the way around because we have folks that come not only for our event, they come for the JB Doer, and they also come for the Cattleman's. So
you've merged all things.
Yeah, we're really
Western.
lucky
It's
the
a good
way
day
that
to be at
know,
the fair. Yeah.
That's awesome.
the fair has really been very, very gracious to us to allow us to fit into this schedule.
But you still have to buy tickets to get in.
Yes.
Okay, so just to make sure everybody
Just an
knows.
entrance ticket.
Right,
There's no ticket to the auction or anything like that.
Right, that's all free, but
Yep.
entrance into the fair.
Yep.
Come and check it out because I believe they open up at 8 o'clock.
I don't know what
think-
time they open. I'm not sure.
But I mean, everything's open. Jimmy's is open. Beer booth's open. Everything's open, ready to rock
Yeah.
and roll for you.
And we since we've moved, We now have a complete shaded area, so everybody's in the shade while the awards presentation and the auction is going on. You know, in the past, we've kind of been out in the sun sometimes
hot
and things
last
like
year.
that. Yeah, so you know, we can't do much about the weather, but we can do a little bit about keeping people comfortable. There's ample seating for everybody. You know, we get such a great turnout that day from members of the community. We have people that say, you know what, I don't go to anything else at the fair, but I want to be there for the IA, and it's a feel good thing, man. It just
Well, it really is. It's if somebody's watching that's never been to it, I mean, it's really an eye opener because you think one way going in what you're going to see in these projects, and then you get there and you see these projects and you're like, this is pretty amazing. You know, it's like like we were talking earlier, the creativity, the effort that went into it, and not only that, is you're helping, help to kind of fuel this fire with these kids that want to stay in this industry that obviously we need, the world needs, and you guys don't want to see go away.
no, no. I mean, Landon can speak to. I sit on an advisory committee for Templeton High, and you know, to hear what they have to go through just to keep their programs active, you know, to be creative with writing grants and going to the community and saying, you know what, how can we get your help to make these programs succeed? You know, all they want to do is take money away. They don't want to add, you know, and they do a really good job of being really creative about keeping these programs going.
Well, hopefully there's people up top that realize the need, for this industry and the growth of it. After trying to jump into the whole computer and pushing computers, well, you still need the blue collar. You still need the ones that are down there in the trenches and working on the stuff that nobody wants to work on. So, and the creative side of it,
Yeah.
I mean, you look at some of these buildings, you look at some of these projects, I mean, you got wineries, but yeah, you got things that need to be inside to make it look unique.
Yeah,
So,
you know, technology is certainly so important now in the fabrication industry. Um, since I've retired, I have been amazed at how fast the industry is moving forward with technology and integrating it into making things more productive, faster, less rework, you know, bigger bang for your buck. And it starts at this level because they have to have the equipment, they have to have the curriculum that backs that up. You can't just put somebody into the workplace and say, here you go, I hope you know how to work this, you know? And it's also the employer is a win-win because he's going to get somebody that knows how to run that equipment to make them money.
right.
You know, so
Before we go, Landon, I want to ask you a question for students. Is this something that you put open to all the students that come through the welding classes, or do they have to go or know something to try to be involved with the fair project?
Nope. Open to all students in the program. Eligibility, like school eligibility requirements are there, but that's the only like barrier to entry. So open to all students, any
So
grade.
they still have that just like sports.
Yeah, yeah. It's just
Oh.
it's an extracurricular activity through the schools, so they have to have their grades and their
Okay.
attitude and stuff at school's all got to be there. But outside of that, it's open to all grade levels. As far as the fairs end of it, they just have to be enrolled in a industrial education class at a high school in SLO County. And that's another one of those things we talk about, these projects and like kind of the scale that they go up. That's something that's really cool for me as an advisor to always watch, is this student that starts with that small trinket, that Blake was talking about at their freshman level, and selling it, and making a little bit of money off of it, and then going the next year and doing something bigger and thinking grander and just watching them grow every year. So the return students is always really cool to see because they just always are expanding and having these bigger ideas. It's a lot of
And
fun
so
to
you've
watch.
already seen some of these projects. So
Yeah, yeah.
Are you excited for this year?
It's going to be it's an awesome turnout this year. Blown away. There's some really artistic stuff down there this year. some big projects, and the quality is there again, just like it has been in the last few years. So
Cool.
it's awesome to see.
What about you, Blake? Are you excited this year?
I'm excited, and the one thing that we encourage, Randy, is this is open to all high schools in San Luis Obispo County. So if you're below the grade, you need to get up here and take part in this, and we're excited because we have an outstanding support group. Ron Alves of PRW, Justin Pickard with Cuesta College, Debbie Twisselman, Robert Dozell with Airgas and Paso Robles. I'm the old guy that just kind of sits on the bench and puts in my 2 cents worth every once in a while. And our outstanding, our donors, our sponsors, they make this all happen. So it comes so quickly every year. I can't believe the fair time is already here again. And we start ramping up, and now we're in the exciting stage because we're getting the prizes together. We'll go down next week and we'll see how the building is set, and we'll get to see what the judges, how they've placed things in their awards. And then Thursday is it's just running on adrenaline that day to see everybody come in and be so excited and be so supportive. Again, I can't thank our community, our North County community enough, our just great people that show up and support this. Not everybody has to buy anything that day, but come and sit and understand what it's about. And we have folks that have been there. They've been my cheerleaders since day one, and I'm so thankful for them.
That's awesome.
That's
awesome. Blake, once again, tell us when this is.
It will be Thursday, September.
Keep moving months.
I know. Let me move it to Christmas. It'll be Thursday, July 16th. The preview is that we'll actually be able to see things at 11 o'clock. Our ceremony will start at noon. We will have not only the industrial arts, but we'll have J.B. Dewar Tractor Restoration presentation awards, and then we will get into the industrial art auction, and then Cattleman's Day and the barbecue. So
awesome.
A great lineup all day.
Well, gentlemen, thanks for coming in, and thanks for putting this much-needed event on at the California Mid-State Fair, and everything that you do at the school to continue pushing this industrial need in our world today.
Absolutely.
So,
thanks for having What's Up North County to put this out to the people.
Absolutely.
That's a great venue for us. We appreciate it very much.
Absolutely. Thanks for coming on, and I'm looking forward to being there.
We'll look for you.
Well, there you have it, guys. Hey, make sure you guys get out to the California Mid-State Fair July 16th. Come check out the Industrial Arts and Education auction that's going to be out there. You don't want to miss, as the projects are going to be awesome. And you can definitely find something for your house, your business, or your grandparents. But as always, guys, we can't do this without you and our sponsors. I'd like to thank Esquire Wine Travelers Hideaway. Visit at Casa Carroll, 805 Customs, MGT Coatings, 1776 Roofing and Gutters, Premier Ag, Trailer Barn, Story Termite Pest Control, Borhone Auto Center, Kennedy Club Fitness, Angela Hickson Port Photography, Airflow Filter Services, the Tascaro Chamber, and of course, Templeton Heating and Air. Thanks again, guys. We'll see you at the fair.
Your home is your castle. It keeps you safe when the weather's rough. But if you're not taking care of your roof, things could get a little wild. 1776 Roofing with RoofMax will fix up the rough spots, treat the shingles, and give it years more life at a fraction of what a new roof costs. At TLC, your roof needs now. Call 805-900-1776.
When it comes to comfort, trust the team that's been keeping the North County homes cozy since 1995. At Templeton Heating and Air Conditioning, they're your hometown pros right here in Templeton. From tune-ups to repairs, remodels to new construction, even duct replacements and attic ventilation, they got you covered. Call your neighbors at 805-434-3741. Templeton Heating and Air Conditioning. Local, trusted, dependable.
Hi, I'm Glenn McWilliams.
And I'm Annie. As sixth-generation farmers, we understand what it takes to keep a ranch, a farm, and a community growing strong.
And that's why we started Premier Ag to bring quality feed, trusted Western wear, and real service to the Central Coast.
From hay delivery across the county to hands-on support for local youth and ag programs, we're proud to give back to the community that raised us.
And when we say from seed to stable, we mean it. We've walked the fields, we've fed the animals, and now we're here to serve families just like yours.
Come visit us at 1041 Paso Robles Street in Paso Robles and experience the difference of a store built by farmers for farmers.
From seed to store, where quality meets country.
Hi, this is Dave Story, small game hunter with Story Termite and Pest. We're a full-service termite and pest control company. From rodents to termites, we can take care of all your pest control needs. Call today, we can tailor a pest control program that will meet your needs and budget. Contact us at 805-460-0650 or at storytermite.com. Remember, we don't have customers, we have friends.
Looking for a top quality concrete coating in SLO County? Hi, I'm Matt Gifford with MGP Coatings, your trusted local expert in durable, long-lasting concrete coatings backed by Pentec's limited lifetime warranty. Whether it's residential or commercial, we deliver expert craftsmanship, premium products, and unbeatable customer service. When we say we make concrete great again, we mean it. As a locally owned, community-driven company, we take pride in transforming garages, patios, pool decks, wineries, and even interior spaces into stunning, functional areas. Are you ready to upgrade your space? Give us a call at 805-952-5301. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram, or visit mattgiffordpainting.com. Join the MGP Coating family today.
What's up, North County? This is Teresa Branch with Airflow Filter Service. We are a family-owned business right here in the North County. We have air filters, oils and lubricants, and hydraulic hoses. We provide services that include air filter cleaning, DPF cleaning, and waste oil collection. Come check us out at 1140 Ramada Drive, and we can help you with all your automotive and industrial vehicle needs.
Atascadero isn't your standard getaway. We're unique, just like you. We're growing, transforming, and figuring it out as we go. We're a town filled with innovators, artists, makers, and game changers. We're a little bit country, a little bit funky, and always authentic. We're here for your good times, your slow times, and your changing times. We're all in Atascadero. Come see for yourself. Learn more at visitatascadero.com.